Welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to play Austin by Dasha, which is a super catchy song. So if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below what other songs you'd like to see. Thanks for watching. For this, you're going to have a 4-chord progression starting with an A in your pinky, an E in your thumb. Then you're going to move up to an F inverted, which is a C in your pinky, F in your pointer, A in your thumb. Then you're going to move down to a C, which is a C in your pinky, E in your middle, G in your thumb. And lastly, you're going to move up to an inverted G, which is a D, a G in your pointer, B in your thumb. You're going to move through this progression. Your left hand's really going to be keeping your beat through the entire song. So get comfortable with these chord progressions. Get comfortable with this beat here where you're counting every single time. For each of the chords, you're going to be playing 8 chords in succession before you move to the next chord. So you're going to be counting it as 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, down to your A. For part 1 of the right hand, you're going to anchor with your thumb on E. You're going to play G in your middle, up to A in your ring, back down to E. You're going to play that pattern again, up to C in your pinky, down to B, G, A. Reach to F with your pointer, F again, E, up to C with your pinky, and then reach to C in your thumb. You're going to play this pattern twice throughout the song. For part 2, your hand will already be in this position. You go D, E, D, C. Do that pattern again. This pattern's a little strange. It's kind of like a skip step down to D, and then down to D and A. First pattern you learned. Then it's 3 E's in a row, down to D, C, E, G, and that's part 2. Part 2A repeats some of the patterns you learned in part 2, but just makes them a little bit more complicated. So this first pattern is going to be exactly the same, D, E, D, down to C. This is more complicated where you add a C to that second pattern, and then you add a D to that pattern. Down to A, add a C to this pattern, and then it's your 3 E's in a row, down to D, D, A to end it. Let's learn how to put part 1 together. So you're going to start with your E and your G by itself, then A's together, E and A together, E and A together, G by itself, E and A together, G by itself, A's together, A and E together, A and C together, A and B together, G by itself, C and A, C and F, C and F, E by itself, C and E, G, C and A together, C and E together, C's together, C by itself, C in your right hand by itself. The pattern is a little bit more complicated, so I'm just going to be calling out the hands together part. So if you don't hear something that I call out together, that just means it's played independently between the 2 hands. Just make sure you're keeping that steady beat in your left hand the entire time. So C and D together, C and D together again, C and E together this time, C and E together, G and D together, G and D together again, G and E together this time, together again, G and D together, G and E together, and that's part 2. For part 2A, the pattern's a little bit more complicated, just like part 2, so I'm only going to be calling out the parts together. Again, keep that steady pattern in your left hand throughout this entire song. You're going to be playing D and C together, D and C together, C and E together, E and C together, A by itself, G and D together, G and D together, G and E together, G and E together again, G and D, and then A's together to end the song. So you saw that there was a couple extra patterns that we added to part 2A that are slightly different than part 2 by itself. Now let's see all put together. Start with your EG intro, go into part 1. Part 2. Back to part 1. And transition into part 2A. End on your A's. And there you have it. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment.